This episode of the New Hampshire Business Show is sponsored by Everlasting Capital. If you're a small business and you need money and a bank won't give it to you, Everlasting Capital is here to help. In as quickly as a couple of days, you can have the funding your business needs for new equipment or anything else you need the capital for. So submit your application today and see how they can help you out.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the New Hampshire Business Show. My voice is still not back yet. I'm here today with Kristen Applegate of New Hampshire Small Business Consulting. How's it going?
It's great. How are you?
Doing fantastic, except for my voice. So let's get started. Tell me about your business.
So we provide finance and operations solutions for small businesses that may not really need full-time professional level staff on their payroll. So maybe you have a bookkeeper, but you really need 10 hours a week for a controller. Same with operations. So we help oversee. We also work with your internal staff to develop, train, put best practices in place.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So what got you into that?
So I've been in accounting for about 15 years and kind of slowly worked my way up from entry level to controller.
Yeah.
And I've just kind of always wanted to own my own small business. So
Yeah.
here I am.
That's pretty cool. So, yeah, because when you say consulting, that can be a lot of different things nowadays.
Yeah.
So that's why I like having you on, because it's like, that can literally be a lot of different things.
So I'm not going to go in and tell you how to run your business.
Yeah.
I will tell you probably best practices for your finance operations, human resources, anything that's back-end related to your company. Work with startup companies that are just starting, where maybe you have a fantastic idea and you know what you want to do, but when it comes to setting up your books, most people don't really have both skill sets.
Yeah.
So that's where I come in. And we
Okay.
can either develop this stuff and get you going, or kind of stay on a long-term basis and just kind of manage. And I can either provide the staff to help do things like that, or manage your internal staff.
Okay. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, like, first thing I'm going to say is, for an accountant, you seem really nice. Usually they're kind of dull.
Yes. Yeah, I feel like I'm one of the oddities in this field.
So, why accounting? I know it's not an area that a lot of people get into, probably, I'm assuming. But
Yeah.
it is pretty important for businesses to learn.
Yes, you definitely want to know where your money's going and where it's coming from. So I've always liked numbers. Growing up, I was great in math. Numbers just make sense to me. So I didn't really want to be a mathematician. I didn't want to go crazy with it. I like, just kind of making things come together with it.
Okay, that's pretty good. Then, why'd you start a business? You said you wanted to work for yourself. That's pretty good,
Yes.
but instead of coming on with another accountant or a firm, why do something by yourself?
I do work with firms as well, but I really like to be in charge of how my business is marketed, how it's ran, who my clients are, who my team is. I like making my own hours.
Yeah.
I do have 2 little kids, so flexible hours is a huge perk.
Yeah, definitely.
When they go to bed tonight, I'll probably work until midnight.
I feel you on that, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was more the flexibility and just kind of being in charge of my own path.
Okay. That's good. That's, I like that. Yeah, so I guess talk a little more about your services. Like, what do you offer? It's hard to get in and really be like, yeah, let's make accounting sexy.
Yeah.
So.
I can give a recent example. One of my clients right now, they did receive a very bad audit from their last fiscal year. So I'm going in and making the adjustments needed, making any of the corrections. But I'm also fixing their books. I'm going back and I'm actually entering bills and things that just haven't been done. But in that process, I'm also developing their best practices for them. Like, okay, instead of doing it this way with the journal entry. Now I'm going to start talking accounting.
Yeah.
Maybe do it this way. It makes things a little more visible, a little easier to track, so that when there is a question, you can just, with a click of a button, just pull it up and provide an answer to senior management.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I know I've never been a fan of numbers, but I forced myself to take accounting classes because it's important to at least understand business-wise.
Yes.
And it can get really confusing.
It can. We try. The whole point of my job is to make it so it's not confusing. Yeah. So when you're running your own business, I want to be able to give you a clear picture. It's so easy to read that anyone could sit in on our meeting and understand what it is I'm talking about.
Yeah. And again, why I brought up the confusing part, where it's good to have someone that can help you with that. Yes. That's why, you pay accountants to make sure, because the mistakes, like you said, if you mess that up, it can become a big problem either with the IRS or whatever. Someone looking at your numbers and being like, well, this is either illegal or just negligent to begin with.
Exactly. And yes, and that's kind of what I'm dealing with right now with one of my clients.
I gotcha.
Yep. So, but yeah, we want to make sure the books are right for your CPA to file your taxes correctly. But also, if you go for a loan, you need to be able to provide accurate financial statements.
Yeah. Yeah, which is important because, like I said, money makes the business go around. And
well, even just making your business decisions, you should absolutely know your financial stance. Another example, one of the companies I worked for, we had our top client, and they were awesome. They were easily double the revenue than our next largest client. Well, when we did a gross margin analysis, we found out we were only making 1% on them. So all of a sudden, they're not so great, because at that point, they're basically breaking even with how much money they're costing us.
Yeah.
So it helps when you start digging into stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. So let's talk about small business. What are businesses typically doing wrong? I know that's a fun question because it's a lot, but from what you see, what are some good things that you would typically point them towards?
So a lot of what I see, because I really only work with very small businesses, we're talking under 20 employees. A lot of the times maybe the bookkeeper is the owner's daughter, which is kind of how I got started, so I'm so not knocking that. That's awesome. But at some point, you want to go a little bit beyond bookkeeping. So maybe the daughter doesn't have enough skill set yet to get to providing trending and analysis and knowing really what to look for on the financial statements to make sure that they're accurate. So that's where I come in and can either train her or help oversee. But a lot of the times it's more just the business is growing so much where what they started with for staff isn't necessarily what they need in the end. But they probably don't need a full-time controller, and you probably don't want to pay a full-time controller. Yeah. You probably just need someone a few hours a week or a few hours a month to just come in and make sure things are right and running smoothly on the back end so that you can focus on providing the good or service that your business does.
Pretty good. I like it. I don't have a whole lot of questions. That's the fun part about talking to in this type of industry is it's like, what do you do to make it fun and sexy? So where are you looking to take the company? I know you said you have some people you work with. Do you have a bunch of employees?
No, I only have a team of 2.
Okay.
And we're brand new. I just started the company a month ago.
Nice.
Nice. So you're really a little over a month ago. Yeah. So we're brand new.
Cool. So what are the hopes and dreams of you guys?
So maybe growing a little bit bigger. I wouldn't mind expanding to New England. I suppose, right now I'm really kind of focusing on New Hampshire.
Yeah.
I do dip into Mass and into Maine. I'd really kind of like to take it a little bit bigger, make the team maybe 10 or 15 people.
Yeah.
I would like to maybe provide further services. So right now I do finance, operations, and HR. I would love to provide, bring in a sales consultant or bring in technology consultant, legal consulting, and kind of just be able to provide like a full package for our clients.
They're pretty good.
Yeah.
Because sales is a good one. 'Cause a lot of people don't realize how important sales is, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
You know, they start a business and what they don't do is work on selling their product. They'll do everything else,
Yeah.
but they don't consider like, oh, who's selling this thing?
Yeah, well, you know, a lot of what we run into with small business is, you know, so-and-so worked as a salesperson selling this good for another company for 20 years, and now they want to try to open their own shop.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But if you don't understand the back end of the business and how that business functioned,
Yeah, it's not as easy.
yeah, you kind of just need some help. Or, you know, if a roofer did roofs for 20 years,
Yep.
and now they want to open their own company.
Yeah, chef wants to start a restaurant, you know, that type of...
Yeah,
deal,
exactly. Yeah. So that's where we come in.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, people that want to learn a little more about you, maybe get in touch. How do they how do they reach out?
Through my website, it's nhsbc.net. Or also, you can give me a call at 603-716-0027.
Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me. It's been a lot of fun.
Thanks, Chris.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you learned something or decide to reach out, because you definitely don't want to be the one making the mistake on the finances. So everyone be good and have a great day.